guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this podcast I wanted to bring you guys a quick video on just breaking no contact with a narcissist, basically reestablishing no contact. And I think that this is a very tricky subject to talk about, and I feel like this is kind of what keeps people in a mental slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is what probably many doctors or psychologists, coaches, do to you, is that when you break no contact, right? Basically, they tell you have to start all over. They're like, you have to start all over. You broke no contact. Like you messed up. And that's really mostly the reality of the narcissist. In their mind, the moment you break no contact, they're like, ooh, I got power over you. Oh, I made you break no contact. That means you still love me. Because to them, that's where the power lies. It's not where the power lies within you, because you can move on after that one day. You can move on. But people make you feel like you have to start all over because that's how the narcissist views you. They view you like you're still in love with them, right? When you think about narcissist women and how a lot of narcissist men, they have a hate-love relationship for narcissist women, because they know that if they were to play that same game on them instead of the empath, they know that narcissist woman, she's just going to have another guy on her line. She's going to have another person to talk to play with, to conversate with, to waste time and get energy from. So they know that you're not that type of person, and that's why they're gaining energy from you even when they're not around. This is why you have to live your best life for you. You can't allow these people to think that you're sad and still thinking about them. You have to show them that life still goes on even when they're not around. This is why the moment that you break no contact, these people might apologize to you, but you can tell that right away they're treating you like like you're this person that they already know, like that time that you've been healing and learning. They don't see that when they see you. So if you fool yourself into thinking that just because you broke no contact, that means that you have to start all over, that's a lie. Don't fool yourself into believing that, because you will go down the rabbit hole. They just don't see that in you. And it doesn't matter what they see even when you're gone, because if that's what they see and that's not what's happening, then they're going to be instilling more negative energy into themselves, because their perception of you is wrong. So they're the ones that are going to be receiving that dark karma, that dark cloud hanging over them, because they want you. They're praying, no matter how hard, no matter how much they've hurt you, they're praying that you're still sad and upset. Because the longer you stay in that vibration, the longer that they can hide behind their karma. This is why when you start healing, they come back, because they start going through things. So don't think just because you messed up that you can't just let things go and let them continue to get their karma. You walking away, it's okay. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to almost feed into the addiction and back up and realize what's going on, because that's what it is. It's a spell. So when you back away, you're basically telling the universe, okay, I understand this person's not going to change. I get it, but I'm changing. And I understand that now. Go ahead, universe. Go ahead. Do whatever you have to do with them. I'm done. The universe knows when you're done. And I think that type of mentality, it's like people preying on your downfall, because if you have gained knowledge and you know that something isn't right and you know that something's not good for you, sometimes you have to touch, you shouldn't touch that fire, right? But sometimes you have to touch that fire to know that it's going to burn every single time, that it's going to do damage every single time. Now, if you know that other people have gotten burnt and you're watching them get burnt and you're seeing that they're badly, have a very severe, burnt mark, you don't even have to get burnt. If you know that it gets worse, then you don't really have to get burnt. But some people give it a chance, right? We give it a chance, and then, they do it again, and then we give them another chance, and it gets worse and worse. And we just don't know how worse it can get until it gets really bad, that we can't even go back to we can't even go back to who we used to be anymore. So this is why it's so important to stay no contact, not for the narcissist, because they don't care. They're always going to think they have one over on you, but for yourself. A lot of times when you come into this knowledge, especially me, I think I was very, very naive, like extremely naive. I think just knowing who I am now, the knowledge that I have, just the clarity that I have on the tricks that are being played on everyone, especially as a young girl, and knowing that I was nothing but a meat suit to a narcissist, just like the narcissist is a meat suit itself. To them, they felt like my emotions, my feelings, nothing mattered. To narcissists, once they try to damage you, they just want everyone to also finish you off. They want you to stay stuck, frozen in time like a statue, and then they want you to basically be there for them for their every needs when they're insecure, when they're going through things, when they don't have a good self-esteem, or they just don't know how to network, or how to have authentic relationships with people. A lot of times they're studying you. They're studying the people around you. They're studying past supply just as much as you're studying them. They don't understand why an empath is forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. And, with going through that fire and going through just falling for the narcissist tricks, for their lies, a lot of times you'll feel guilt. You'll feel guilt for believing their lies when they hoovered you. They're giving you excuses. They're telling you that there's something that they were going through. They're telling you that, no one taught them better. They're telling you that they're still growing as a man or as a woman, that they're still learning how to behave a certain way because no one taught them these things. But they know better. So they're basically just telling you, I just don't want to change, but I'm trying to change. And then they're projecting their behaviors onto you and making it seem like there's something that you're doing by questioning them. It's something that you're doing. And when you come across a narcissist hoovering you, they always put the blame on you, to the point where you will put the blame on yourself for certain situations. You'll feel like you're the one that led them to act the way or behave the way or make the choices that they made. So, it just, the narcissists, they are tricksters. They blame things on you. Even when they're hoovering you, they're claiming that they want to be with you, or they miss you, or they made a mistake, whatever it is. And excuse my background because I am driving, but they will make these excuses, and next thing you know, it's like as soon as they get any type of access to you, conversation, they're blaming you, or they're trying to make you feel like there was something that you did as well. Like they're not fully taking full accountability. So then when you feel like this person's not taking full accountability, you're going to start bringing up everything they've ever done to you. The narcissist is counting on you to do that. They're going to deny your reality. They're going to pretend like it didn't really exist, or it didn't happen that way. They're going to act like they forgot certain things. And next thing you know, you're sitting there arguing, trying to prove yourself that what happened to you was real. And the narcissist is like, okay, if it was real, okay, let's just get over it. If it was real, let's get over it. And if you're seeing some of the same behaviors happening right away and you're questioning it, they're getting upset, making it seem like you don't really know they're making it seem almost like you don't know their patterns, like you're a new person that doesn't know their patterns, and you're calling it all out. And you can see that most narcissists, they won't stop lying. They won't ever take accountability for their actions. And what traps the empath in, what I remember happening to me time and time again, was that in those instances, those were the instances where I felt like especially me being a young girl, I'm thinking I have to prove myself to my boyfriend that I'm not cheating, that I'm loyal, that I'm a grown woman, when I'm really not a grown woman, that I'm barely a kid my goddamn self, and he's the grown man. So I'm sitting here like, I think this is what relationships are about, trying to prove my loyalty to someone, because that's what they were counting on. They were counting on putting fear into me and making me stand in line to be their zombie, to do everything they want, everything they like, to live a life the way they want me to live it. Anytime I'm doing anything for myself, I'm doing something wicked behind their back. They have to have full access to me, but I can't have full access to them. So to the narcissist, it's like, if I can get you to believe that I'm an important person in your life that you need, when in reality you didn't need them before you met them, and you don't need them afterwards. They come into your life and make it seem like you don't have anyone else, and it's not going to get any better. No one's going to listen to you the way they took the time to listen to you. This is why they pretend to be good listeners. This is why they pretend to be relatable to you, because it's all fake. It's all, lies. It's all a fairy tale. And, what made me keep going back, what made me go back multiple times, was that when they came back, they made it seem like they played an important role in my life when I had my own life and I had my own things going, and I had my my whole young life ahead of me. But yet they're sitting here making it seem like almost like everything you're doing is stupid. Everything you're doing is dumb. What's the point on doing that? Your friends aren't really your friends. All of these things that I feel like I already had an idea of. Yeah, my friends are probably not my friends, but I was just so focused in my own dream that I didn't allow other people to overpower me or control me. And I think that the narcissist pointed out a lot of things that to them they point out within themselves because they don't trust anyone. And it's not bad to not trust just anyone and everyone, but at the same time, you don't have the right to abuse people, and that's what the narcissist does. They are like a child in a big person's body that's trying to control and manipulate any and everyone, just because they hate themselves, they have hidden secrets, or they feel like they deserve more than what they have, or they feel like they're gods, but what stopped me was feeling like they were important, feeling like that's what made me break the no contact, when they would try to hoover me or force me they would almost force hoover me too. Like they would stalk me and go places to my school, like leave notes in my car. And this happened over the years. So I spent most of my younger years playing this back and forth thing. So it's like they were living all these double lives with different people, and they make you, like I said, they make you feel like they have this important role, or they deny your reality, and then you're stuck there because you feel like, oh my God, I broke the no contact. I've had sex with them. Oh man, they're a bad person, but here I am with them again. Maybe it's just better to be with them. Maybe it's just better than being alone. So you'll battle with yourself knowing you have this information about narcissism because you don't want to believe they're that evil, or you're afraid to be alone, or you feel like you don't have anyone, or you feel like they've just damaged your identity so much that you're just like, the closest thing that I'm close to who I used to be was my connection to this narcissist, and that's it, because everything else has crumbled. And you'll keep wanting to go back, and then you keep feeling like a failure because when you talk to people about this, a counselor or anyone, they're kind of like, you have to start all over, that you messed up breaking no contact. You should have never slept with this person. You knew this person said anything to you just to sleep with you. That they were willing to do nice things for you, but it came with a prize. They wanted some supply, energy, sex, money, time, attention, admiration. They wanted something out of you. So you don't realize that, but when you have enough knowledge, even if you were to break that no contact because you still have that attachment, I want you guys to know to not be hard on yourself. The problem is that when you notice that you messed up, you have to immediately go no contact, like immediately. It's not you having to start over from scratch because you already know the information. You already know what's going on. To you, it was more about when this person's in front of you, you start paying attention to their stories that they're saying to you, or their reasons to why they never came back for you, or they never tried to make things right with you. You're trying to get some type of understanding because this person claimed to be empathetic. But once you start talking to them, they'll make you feel bad all over again. They'll make you feel bad to even given them a chance. You start feeling bad about breaking no contact. But I think that instead of people looking at it as going back and starting all over, I think it's more about knowing who you are, knowing that you came a long way, and knowing that you're strong enough to acknowledge that you made a mistake, and acknowledge that every single time that you went back to the narcissist, it's not like what it is now. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it is now, because now you see every single tactic that they do, everything that they say, every time they're telling you a story. Now you see that it's all lies. You see how they work. You'll tell these people, you only came back to get energy out of me because you're trying to, triangulate me, or you're trying to find newer supply. You're trying to use me. You've done this to me before. And they'll sit there and look at you like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Why would I do that? I would just keep being with that other person. Why would I come back to you? If I really wanted them, I would be with them. But I want to be back with you because all of a sudden I have an epiphany years later. And that doesn't make any sense. So just by that's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. Your whole spirit will feel it. You'll feel it, and you'll start thinking to yourself, man, this person's really crazy. I should never have had even gave them an opportunity to talk, because I already knew they were wicked. I already knew that they weren't even worthy of an apology. Sometimes when you do break no contact, you will notice that, this person they won't really take accountability. And you will see that the narcissist they get too comfortable with you right away. Like they, start talking to you disrespectfully right away. They start to try to, gain that control, that access to control right away. This person could have discarded you and you hadn't spoken to them in months or years. And the moment that you allow this person back in your life, they're walking around your home like they've always walked around your home before. They're looking around to see if they can see anything new, anything that has changed in your environment. It's like they study your environment right away and they move in really quickly. They adapt into your environment really quickly, so that by the time you even question it, you might think in your mind it's too late. I messed up. I have to start all over. Because the narcissist tricked me. They made me believe that they change and they never really changed. They're back to their old behaviors. They have no respect for my belongings. They don't have any respect for anything. They're just too comfortable. They're too comfortable with, coming back after months or years and, almost acting like you haven't changed, or just the lack of respect for you or the people around you or the people that they affected. There's no accountability for anyone, so, if you have children with them, they're not going to take any accountability that they hurt, your child's feelings by going in and out of their life, not just with you, but it's like another level of disrespect. So they won't take accountability for anything. They'll just be like, let me be a dad. And because your kids are confused, they're just happy to see their parent. You'll think to yourself, I don't want to take their happiness away and become the enemy. So the narcissist knows that. This is why they even have, this is the main factor to why they even have children. They want to be able to break no contact over and over again, pretend like, they want to be a family person one minute, and the next minute they're showing you that that's not who they are, that that's just a facade. So you basically get stuck in between the facade and wanting to believe that no one is capable of having children and doing all of these things just to have access to you for the rest of your life. Like, you don't want to believe something like that. So a lot of times we rather just keep the lie going, or keep, this fantasy in our brain that we're doing it for the children, when we know this person's not going to change, so we'll blame ourselves for breaking no contact, or we'll make an excuse to why breaking no contact was okay. But the worst thing you can do to yourself is break no contact and continue the toxic behavior and allow this person to disrespect you. That's the most hurtful thing that you can do to yourself. That's more hurtful than you believing that breaking no contact means you're starting all over. If you've worked hard at your education, you've got a degree, and you've managed to escape the abuse and start a new life, and now you're thinking to yourself, I have this new life. The narcissist came back around. I want to invite them into my new life because they thought I wasn't capable of it. And I want to prove to them that I am capable of having, of living a normal life without them. They always knew there was nothing really wrong with you. They always knew that it was just abuse and control. They knew that. So a lot of times we make the mistake of thinking they don't know that for some reason. Because we don't want to believe the lie. We want to believe that there's a little bit ounce of goodness in them, right? You want to believe it. But I'm also, I also want to point out that just because I said, don't feel bad about breaking no contact, it doesn't mean listen to this video and I'm encouraging you. Chances are, if you break no contact, you can end up hurt. This person can end up stealing from you. They can end up, trying to see what's going on in your life to even send others to hurt you. So I'm not telling you that this is something that's okay to do. What I'm telling you is that when you make a mistake and you were able to get away from that mistake, wiping your hands clean, and you still feel like, bad or guilt or something, I'm just letting you know, do not feel guilt, do not feel bad, because you went through some type of abuse and you're trying to heal based on the information that you know. So I'm not encouraging you to go and talk to someone that has discarded you so that you can get closure and you feel like, oh, I'm strong enough because I'm strong enough to handle this. I know what's going on. It's not about that, because any energy you give to a narcissist is energy. A text message, an email, it's all energy. And that's all they care about. They want to know if you're still into them, if you still find them attractive. Sometimes if you allow that conversation to even happen, to them it's like, I don't really care that I wasn't able to get you back. I'm just glad that you're still heard over me. Because to them, it's like, if you're giving me any type of opportunity to talk to you, it must be because you still feel something from me. And if you feel something from me, that means that you still have some type of supply and energy feel to give me. You have something there. So to them, they're just, it doesn't really mean anything. They are not attached to you. They don't feel anything for you. To them, it's more about, I'm an ugly person on the inside. So why else would you want to be around me? Do I look that great? Am I really that handsome? Am I really that pretty? Thank you. It's a compliment to them. So a lot of times I don't even have to get back with you. It's just the fact that they can call you and say that you're their friend to other people, when in reality they've never been a friend to you. Like, the best thing you can do in a Hoover is actually pay attention to the words that are being said. Pay attention to the dramatics, like them trying to bring up some event, like, they want to make it seem so good to be, it's like too good to be true. All of a sudden they're your soulmate. I'm your soulmate. I love you. That we have a connection. They feed you all of this BS. And if you know that it's BS when you're listening to it, that shouldn't keep you stuck. That shouldn't make you feel like you're going to start all over again. That should actually encourage you to move on with your life. That should actually be the sign. That should be the moment where you're looking at that person in the eyes and you're like, dang, you're lying to me in my freaking face. That should be the moment that you're like, this person is low down. They're sick. They're twisted. They know they've lied. They're trying to put the blame on me. They left thinking they were going to be happy. How about I leave? And how about I really, really show my authentic happiness in front of your face? How about I flaunt the peace that I have away from you? How about I flaunt the fact that I don't have to deal with a psycho anymore? I can just live a happily ever life, however I want to live it, where you're not going to know what I'm doing, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can go from supply to supply. You know that I don't hate that about you. You know that I don't even care, because you know that I know that you're a liar. And you know that I know that you're lying to yourself with whoever you get in a relationship with, because your past just always haunts you. And when your past haunts you, instead of being honest with the person that you're with and telling them that you have a past, you lie even more. So you're not a real person. You're not a real guy, my guy. You're not a real woman. You're not a real woman. Like, you're not about what you say or do. You're not about your word, and you can't do business or create any type of group friendships with anyone, because eventually people are going to see you for who you are. And a lot of times narcissists make it seem like these people that they're friends with, they make it seem like they're their friends and they're always going to be there and they've been friends for years. And a lot of times those people aren't the narcissist friends. Those are just people that are around knowing the narcissist isn't happy, and they're willing to open their door to the narcissist because they know the narcissist is destroying themselves. And as much as the narcissist thinks that those people are narcissists, just because they have narcissistic traits, they're not as dumb as the narcissist thinks that they are. And then when the narcissist realizes it, they seek revenge. So, if you've broken no contact with these people, you're not missing out on anything. They're looking at you like they're not missing out on anything with you as well. They're like, I don't care. You're not happy. Let them think whatever they want to think. Let them believe, they got their 5 seconds of fame. Let them believe whatever they want. Their whole life is a freaking movie anyway. You're not playing a character anymore, so you don't have anything to prove. Be yourself. Be okay with, just be in control of your emotions. Be in control of your avatar. Be in control of understanding that there are people who are like this, that don't stop lying, that will manipulate you and make you believe that you had a relationship with them, and they'll keep sucking the fuel out of you over and over again if you let them, no matter how bad the situation gets. You already know that this person, they're never going to stop being a narcissist. You already know that. So I do believe that, like I said, people try to keep you in bondage by making you think that you can't change, or making you think that when you make mistakes that that's it for you, you have to start all over. But if you took the knowledge and you applied it to the situation, and you decided to pull yourself away from that situation because you see that the narcissist is, they're sucking you back in through their lies, repeating their lies over and over again, trying to force you to believe something that you already know that it's not true. Being with a narcissist is a literally a self journey, a self discovery of self actualization, and getting to know your conscious self, and past your trauma. You have to go through stages, and stages of healing. So this is why I say a lot of people act like when you break no contact or certain things happen, and you always have to look at the danger part of it. But at the same time, you're healing while even being with the narcissist, because you already have it in your head that this is toxic, this isn't normal. You battle with yourself for a long time, debating if the situation is even normal, until you start speaking for yourself and having a voice, or hearing other stories. So, like I told you guys, when the narcissist was able to manipulate me into taking them back, and they would give me sob stories or make it seem like it was their trauma that made them this way. Like they even cried. Like everything you can possibly think of, they did it with me. And that's why I feel like I can talk about this, because I was like one of the biggest fools. Like I feel like I was in the movie Mean Girls, and I was like the really, really dumb chick in it, the really slow one. That's literally how I feel like I was. Like I was so not conscious of myself. So, you go through denial. So every time they're hoovering, it's denial. You're breaking no contact. Then you become angry, because you're like, why is this person playing games with me? Your anger, you start to see this fury in you that you've never seen before. You do things that you never thought you would do. You lose control, but they still won't leave you alone. They still won't leave you alone. Then you start bargaining. Is this all I'm going to do? Is this all I'm good for? Can I even change my life at this point? Am I stuck with this person? You go through that stage, and they still try to hoover you to break no contact. Then, you go through depression, suicidal thoughts. You don't care anymore. You understood what happened to you. Nothing, there's no stimulation in your life anymore. That stimulation is gone. When you go through depression, that simulation, that world you were living in, it breaks down, because you realize that world wasn't real. It was like everything you wanted. The narcissist was just preying on it, trying to buy time. So that's what the depression comes from. It's your spirit knowing this person wants to basically kill you at this point. That's why you'll even think about doing it yourself, because you feel their energy saying, I want to destroy you. So, you start projecting that same energy onto yourself. This is why you can't be around these people, because they have it in you. They have it in their conscious self, their mind, to destroy you. So the depression, the lack of stimulation in the simulation is the fact that you finally realize that you've been oppressed this whole time. You've been enslaved. So you realize that, and it's almost like, being a puppy and you're living in a farm, and you're bunched up in a cage, and by the time you do have your freedom, you're not a joyful puppy. You buy this puppy thinking it was going to be a happy puppy because it's a baby, it's small, it's still young. But that energy, that to thrive and all those things. The imagination, the hope, the narcissist tries to destroy that, because they saw that in you. That's what they hated about you. That was really what they hated about you more than anything, So it's like they're trying to kill you alive. They're trying to sacrifice you alive. This is why, that's really mostly the point of no contact, is really for you to understand that you're going to keep feeling depressed, keep feeling oppressed if you don't just accept this. So the last step is acceptance. When you reach this level, because you'll go through different stages while you keep taking them back or talking to them or thinking about them, until you reach acceptance and you move on and you start a new life past these people. You just have to get to the point where you've accepted everything and you've accepted that that's not where you want to be either. So you'll find yourself doing things that you couldn't do when you were with this narcissist. You felt like you were deprived of doing, and you gain a sense of freedom in that, and you realize, wow, I accept me, I accept myself. So that's the journey of self-actualization. So you don't necessarily, once you get through all the steps, when you're at that final step, even if the narcissist was to be around you, and do something to try to hurt you from a distance, you'll be so far ahead in acceptance where it's almost like, okay, that was nice. I have things to do tomorrow, or, just for you doing that, it's going to motivate me to do even more for myself, because I see that you're still watching me. This is why I say that, when people tell you, oh, it's like you have to start all over. No, it's to me, it's a whole bunch of crap, to be honest with you, because you get to a point of when you know yourself, where it's like, if you bump into a narcissist that tries to get a reaction out of you, and if you feed into it, you feel guilty for feeding into it, and you really, take time to clear your energy from that type of toxic energy. But as soon as you understand that you can't give them energy, you're back to it. You're back to who you are. So never think that you're going to be back stuck because they brought the worst out of you. When things get bad, you just have to keep moving forward. A lot of times we're afraid to, keep moving forward. So we look up to the narcissist because they've had so much control over us. And they're like, I don't want you to move forward. I want you to stay stuck here doing whatever I tell you to do for as long as I want to use you. And they really don't care where you end up in life. They don't care if you end up on the streets. They'll come pick you up years later from the streets, clean you up, and then throw you back. That's how bad it can get. Self-acceptance is literally understanding that you can't change people. It's just knowing that these people are going to be this way, whether you're around or you're not around. If they're not bullying you, they'll be bullying someone else. If they're not using you, they're using someone else. Once you know that they're just users and they have no self-awareness, consciousness, really empathy, if anything, because they know what they're doing. A lot of them know what they're doing. This is why, there's never no point on breaking no contact. Even as much as sometimes you might want to know why, it's better to just not even ask why they did it, because at the end of the day, this is not your person. This is not your match. This is not someone who wants, better for you. This is some type of dark force that was attracted to your light, and you let it come in because you didn't know that it was a parasite, So now that you know it's a parasite, you know that it's only seeking energy. They hoover you. They want conversations with you. I've been through it too many times. I'm telling you guys out of experience. Every single time they hoover you, they make it seem like they didn't do anything, or they make it seem like you guys just needed a break, or it was just an argument, misunderstanding, whatever. They make up lies, but in actuality, if someone really loves you, they're not going to leave you for weeks or months, or, they're not going to be able to spend that much time away from you. They're not going to be able to go to work and then go home and not be able to be with you, not be able to talk to you. they're not going to be able to, feel good at night, sleeping at night, knowing that you're upset, knowing that you miss them, or they wouldn't do something like that. So when these people hoover you, do not feel like you're starting all over in the healing process. You're not starting all over. Don't even tell yourself something like that. Don't even lie to yourself. That's lying to yourself. You're basically saying, let me go back to victimhood. Let me go back to how sad I used to be. You're not sad. Don't lie to yourself and tell yourself you're sad. You're sick of that person. That person's a liar. That person's a scumbag. That person has no morals, no morality, no sense of loyalty. You can't have family. You can't have anything without loyalty. So, don't let these people fool you that they're happy or they're living a better life, or, you feel broken because you have to start all over and they're just going to go back and be happy with someone else because you gave them energy, you gave them a conversation. No, that's not how it works. They still have to go back and deal with their problems. And it's better for them. It's better for you to had made a mistake by breaking no contact than you breaking no contact and being with that person again in a relationship with them. So that's what I basically wanted to let you guys know, because every time I had broken no contact, I would just stay with that person, because I would say to myself, all the coaches, all the people, they say, once you break contact, you have to start all over. Hell no, I'm not starting all over. What do you mean? Healing is a process. Letting go of people, that's a process. Literally rewiring your brain, trying to understand that this toxic, dependable relationship that, you had with the narcissist towards each other, because they needed you as much as eventually you needed them. You depended on the narcissist because for the most part, they depended on you. So you always felt like you had a purpose. So, when that person's gone and you realize like that was never your purpose, they made you believe that there was something special, but it was never really anything. It's hard to detach yourself. So it is a process, because you don't want to believe that someone really, you're in denial. This is why I said you go back and forth between healing stages before you realize, wow, this person's really wicked. So this is basically why I wanted to just bring awareness to, what happens when you break no contact, how most people will look at it. Even the people that are supposed to be helping you, this is how they'll look at it. And that they have a right to feel what they feel. And sometimes you will hear things from people where it almost sounds like they're being offensive or too judgmental, or you can see that they really can't understand. But it's important for you to know that anything that anyone tells you, it's for your own safety. It's always good to be safe first, more than anything. Especially when breaking no contact. Some of these narcissists are very revengeful. So, and you're thinking, well, I didn't do anything, but that's not how they think. And this is what these videos are for, to warn you, to let you know. And no one's just saying this stuff just to say it. We all had a stage where we thought to ourselves, well, you don't really know this person. Yeah, they do have a lot of characteristics, but you're just someone talking. You're just someone online. Okay, right. So, I just want to bring awareness. Don't feel bad. Don't feel like you need to start all over. It's more confirmation that you're on the right path, if anything. So I'm sending you guys lots of love. If you guys are new to my channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can listen to more podcasts like this one. And do not forget to share, comment down below. I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, and peace in your healing journey. And I will talk to you guys on the next podcast. Love you guys. Bye.